Hello guys, and welcome back to the Final Fantasy 2 Level 1 challenge. Just a minute, I need to swipe off all these notifications on my phone. God damn it. Why do I have to get them right now? There we go. Alright. So, last time we had gone through Mesidia Cave and obtained the Ultima Tome. And now we have discovered that the world has gone to shit. The Emperor finally decided to get off his ass and destroy the entire world using a self-created cyclone. How does that work? Well, who knows? We being the naive teenagers that we are, just gonna go ahead and wreck his shit at level 1. So it's been a cool 2 weeks since we've done this. So let me just get a refresher. Equipment, I don't think we need to care about equipment. Everybody has double shields only. Richard's evasion is going to come into picture. Richard's evasion is going to be very important now. To remember, there is no restriction on evade levels. All spells at level 1, all spells at level 1, and all spells at level 1. Alright, so we are in the castle which is floating inside the cyclone here, and I guess we've been told that the Emperor himself is controlling the cyclone. So we're going to go and confront him today. Let's get going. Right, so this cyclone is quite an enigma actually. The number of times I have come through here on speedruns, it's debatable whether there are more runnable encounters or unrunnable encounters. But to be fair, there are quite a lot of encounters that you can run from. We got a Ripper here. Ripper, once again, mostly the weapons are useless to us. Have I got the blood sword? I think I have, right? Please tell me I've got the... Oh, I have got the blood sword. Okay. So now that I've got the blood sword, we get yet another tactical tool available to us to kill bosses. So up until now, one of the biggest problems with the level 1 challenge is that can't really say problem. One of the options, using physical weapons, is not open to us at level 1 simply because of the accuracy mechanic. The accuracy does not play a factor in damage spells with magic. We don't really have to care about that. Can we run from this? I don't think we can. Yeah, this is unrunnable. So because accuracy comes into play, accuracy is part of the reason why you are required to level up your weapons in a casual playthrough. Once again, it's really warm out here, and I'm just going to consume liquids as frequently as possible. I've already gone through half my bottle here. So, speaking of weapons, yeah, the thing is, weapons have accuracy. This is another unrunnable battle. Why am I bothering with this? At level 1, you face a very uphill task of, first of all, succeeding with your weapon accuracy check, which at this stage of the game, to be honest, you should have 99 accuracy. Let's just check out. So, let's just take knife for example, which is a beginning game level equipment. You see the accuracy is 87%, which is not too bad. Knives are traditionally known for their good accuracy, so that is probably not the best example. Let's take an axe for instance. Do I even have an axe? We do. Overkiller, which can be considered an endgame axe, so once again not the best example, but look at that. Despite being the endgame axe, we have an accuracy only of 62. Of course, since accuracy is in part affected by strength as well, and Varian only has 12 strength, so basically the innate accuracy of the Oppo killer is only 50%, which is ridiculously low. So you can see that if you're only going to get one hit, one must remember that your weapon level is what determines the number of hits you're going to get with the weapon, unlike other Final Fantasy where the number of hits you get is based on your level, your agility, and stuff like that. So if you are going to get one chance to hit at 62%, that in itself is a very big problem. And that is not even considering the enemy's evasion. Normally, enemy's evasion you never have to worry about. Normally enemies evasion you never have to worry about because they only get one evade level. Even the final boss does not get more evade levels, which is quite ridiculous. At the beginning portion of the game, it is fine for the most part, even though Hello, Matt. How's it going, my friend? You were complaining about summer hitting like a truck. How's the situation right now? I'm doing well. I got sick and tired of constantly being stuck in a traffic jam, so I just decided to take the train home today. Rain today, it's a nice, lucky bastard. Speaking of rain, yeah, the humidity here is absolutely killing us. Ooh, summer has hit like a truck indeed. Well, do I not have warp books? That would suck. Oh, that sucks. I was looking to just warp out of here instead of getting into encounters, but I only have teleport. You change a lot during spring. Oh. So you can have highs and lows. Pretty extreme changes in weather on a regular basis these days. How do you usually handle that? Just part of the game, I guess. And now we just need to go back. Get used to it. You gotta get used to it. Yeah, should heal up Richard. You forgot very well. Oh, please. Can't help that in an ambush now, can we? Unlike Bravely Default, we don't get leniencies like instead of a back attack we get just -1 to our brave. No, sir. Need to heal. Actually, Richard can stay that way. We'll just revive him in front of a boss since we are not going to be taking random encounters anyway. His death will serve a purpose. Speaking of Bravely Default, how far are you with your first playthrough of Bravely Second? Man, that is pretty difficult to say. You can't say, how is your Bravely Second playthrough going? No, it's not a second playthrough after all. No, what I meant was, well, how is Bravely Second? Never mind. Oh crap, this is also unrunnable. It's a piece. Yeah, that is the best. Level 31, so I guess it's going well. Level 31. Okay, so you're still in the early game, Kappa. Jesus. I mean, just I know you already told me, but watching your Bravely default playthrough, and you're what, level 65 right now, right? And we still have one world to go. That's pretty ridiculous, considering that we actually beat the game at holy crap. Yeah, 3 captains, 2 Lamias, are you kidding me? Considering that we finished the game at level 32 comfortably in Final Fantasy V. Oh, you're being oh, are you kidding me? Ambushes are going to be a bitch here. Fortunately, we don't really care about confusion since everyone's wearing double shields, and the only thing that allies can do when confused is physically attack. I'm just gonna get all chest for the sake of completion. Nice. Oh, we can't run away from this, right? What was I thinking? Chapter 5, second one, and we're at chapter 6. Oh, chapter 6! I thought each world we were dealing with at one chapter. I'm thinking of Final Fantasy Tactics, which has 4 chapters. 8 chapters and an epilogue chapter. Holy crap! Lots to look forward to then. But yeah, it is quite repetitive. I'm fully expecting yet another plot twist. So maybe we're just going through the boring portion of the game as just to spice things up. I need to remember Goto's here is actually unrunnable. So remember what I was talking about, this dungeon being pretty lenient in terms of unrunnables? Guess not. So missing one job, which is a mime, I guess? I was not aware we were actually missing a job. Conjurer. Really? Did we not get the summoner? And freelancer mastery. Oh. So you just get the mime for a slot. Conjurer not equal to summoner. Oh my god, seriously, this place is actually quite a bitch. So much for being lenient in terms of unrunnables. Defensively. Oh, like Final Fantasy 3. That is interesting. Either you didn't tell me about this or I did not pay attention. That is quite interesting. I must say, so far, only 7 out of 10 encounters have been unrunnable. So I'm very disappointed in this dungeon. Probably mention it. Probably. Damn it, hell, nobody cares about this. Oh, come on, look at this. Wood Golem, Black Knight, no, not Black Knights. Well, what are they called again? I keep misremembering their name. Royal Guards, okay, Royal Guards. Not very difficult to remember. Royal Guards, Gotos, all of these encounters are unrunnable, and I'm getting pretty unlucky here. Look at this, I'm getting all unrunnables. What is happening? This is the kind of shitty luck I get in a speedrun as well. I wish there was an option like Bravely Default to just switch off encounters. Begin is already available a chapter ago. Are you going to be demonstrating that, if at all possible? Do you have a save slot for that? Is it completely different, or would it be in spoiler territory? I assume that it would be in spoiler territory. Maybe that's for a second playthrough, if at all that's feasible. But I'm guessing that would be the any percent speedrun. Is there no separate category for the true ending? And you reload before you... Oh, that is so user-friendly. That is awesome. What the hell is this? I did not know we could run into Amoeba and Marlboro Terra in this dungeon. What? Oh my goodness, you learn new things every day. Tell me they're runnable, right? Yeah, generally these rare formations are runnable. I'll explain again. In between two. Then won't that make you OP for that stage in the game? But I guess it's okay, you're just there for the story anyway. Speaking of which, I thought you were going to stream today. I remember you saying you were going to stream on Wednesday, unless I'm misremembering, or was it Thursday? Tomorrow is Bravely Default, or is tomorrow Final Fantasy? I guess Thursday. Thursday Final Fantasy 5, right? Career day. That's possible. If you ever figure it out. Final Fantasy 5, okay. Lots of people have been streaming Career Day. I jumped into a couple streams just to ask how long it takes. Maybe there's an outside chance we'll get to race, but I don't think that's realistic. One of these guys told me that it's feasible under 3 hours if you get Guild Toss and Chemist. Mixed rather, which is combined in the SNES version. I hope I have not missed any bosses, but otherwise people are taking over 4 hours. I cannot run from this, should just reset immediately. So tomorrow is FF5 and Saturday is Bravely Default, is it? I'm just trying to keep track of when I can look forward to new Bravely Default episodes. Saturday Bravely, okay, cool. Oh, these ambushes. I don't particularly care about ambushes, but you can see how frequent they are. This is going to be a huge problem in a level 1 challenge run because bosses can ambush too. But then we don't have a restriction against saves coming, do we? So it's all good. Don't really care. Technically, we can keep reloading until we don't get an ambush. Yeah, I must admit, the fact that we cannot repeat this challenge run on the NES version where you cannot save scum inside a dungeon is kind of a downer. But I wanted to try a level 1 challenge. I guess we are kind of like 90% ambush rate over here. Ambush is of course determined by Furian's agility, so right now we've got agility of 40! Furian has an agility of 40, that is quite impressive, I must admit. He must have got the agility bonus from one of the orbs at the end of Mysidia Tower. Quite sure of that. Otherwise, is it his equipment? He's got golden hairpin for plus and agility and nothing else. So yeah, Furian having 40 agility is very surprising. Despite that, if we're getting ambushed on such a regular basis... right, this is the PSP version. Give Godspeed Strike! Yeah, for massive damage, even at level 1. Does Godspeed Strike depend on levels? Or is it just 8 times damage? Why am I here? All of these stores lead nowhere. No idea what the actual formulas are. I'm sure there must be a guide about it, right? Just haven't bothered with, or is the game new enough that there are no guides for it? Generally, people are pretty quick to come up with those things. But then I don't know. One benefit of playing 20-30-year-old games is that you can generally always get guides. Can I get a different encounter, please? Yeah, I need to really dig into it. Okay, like a mechanics guide, or is just a general purpose guide? At least I got a different encounter this time. Yeah, I'm just doing a 180 here and saying this dungeon sucks. This dungeon sucks. Look at the number of unrunnables. And what's worse is that at the end of the dungeon, we actually have 3 consecutive boss fights. Where consecutive means that we can't really do anything in between. That is one of the biggest challenges of a speedrun here. Oh my goodness. That's the boss and the steals drops. I haven't read the rest. Okay. But since Bravely Default does give you most of the tools to get that information anyway, I guess we are not at a stage where people have dug into the code or something like that. Finally. Can you believe that I got a preemptive strike? Really? I got a preemptive strike here. Preemptive strike is like gold right now. But Firen's 40 agility should help out. Well, it doesn't because it's the PSP version. And one thing speedrunners have observed that in the PSP version you tend to get ambushed a lot more than any other version. So maybe the formula is different. Who knows? Maybe. But I chose the PSP version because I missed it. The graphics are really good. I mean, I'm not gonna shit on the NES version. The NES version, in my opinion, has the best monster art. But the general graphics of the PSP version are the best. A lot of eye candy here. Okay, this is going to be probably one of the most difficult. Can call it a boss, but this is, yeah, it's a monster in a box, which are generally superior. But list of free space from there with the original release date. Tariff is 2000. Even older than I thought. I mean, if it was console, I would say 2000 is pretty old, but PC gaming in 2000 was pretty good. And I'm basing that off the fact that we got Age of Empires in 1997. And Age of Empires, to me, is one of the best games ever. It was released in 1999. Oh my goodness, 1999 release, and then source code was 2003. Are you? Holy shit! So someone actually dug into the code without the source code being available. Or quite possibly reverse engineered it and then modded it. Just 1 year after the game release. You must have spent the entire year there. Wow. That is mission editor. Oh, okay. But what about the voice acting? It's just add some sounds files, is it? You don't need to mod the code for that? Oh my god, it's... I'm like 20 minutes into stream and already done with half my water bottle. Was I done in 2006? Oh, okay. So the derelict mission or campaign itself was just 2000. That is fine then. That is fine. I can understand. But if what you say is to be believed, Derelict is one of the classics, as in best campaigns out there. Okay, let's try the same old strats as we had tried last time. So what are we gonna do here? The generals. Aged better than I remembered. Grandfather of fan-made camp. Was that the very first one? So generals, fortunately, are purely physical attack based enemies only. They don't have any magic. So our back row characters do not have to worry, rather do not have to feel the pain immediately, and as long as the front row character is available. So as always, what we're going to try and do is stack Blink on Richard in the hopes that he can evade the general's physical attacks. The bad news is that these guys get 10 hits. 10 hits is nothing to sneeze at. Currently Richard only has level 3 in evade. And remember, Blink 1 is susceptible to missing, and even if we do get Blink 1, what does Blink do? It adds plus, I think it adds 1 evade level every level you get it to work. And since we only got Blink 1, at best, Chrono, Luca and Frog can land 1, at best, 1 Blink. So that's a total of 6. Level 6 for Richard. He's still gonna get his ass kicked by the generals. Let's see how this goes. Level 1. That missed, so rip. This is already going south. That hit, and another Blink. Now it's time for the generals. Oh, did we get a preemptive? Oh, preemptive is godsend. We need to stack more Blinks on Richard. Yes. Primary campaign 2 before then, probably some other FS2 campaigns as well, but it's certainly one that stands out of that era. Okay. Interesting. So unless there is something I am missing about Blink, it's even more abusive than I originally thought. So right now we've got a total of 5 Blinks on Richard, which means that if my calculations are correct, he should be able to evade only 8 hits. But the generals are not able to hit Richard at all. Generals get 10 hits and they are very accurate. So generally they will get, at the very least, 9 out of their 10 hits to land. But Richard is evading everything, which means that this fight has just become a piece of cake. I'm very disappointed about this. Very disappointed. I mean, I know. I mean, so much for this challenge run. God damn it! I was complaining on Thorio's stream about this challenge run being so damn easy, much easier than I originally anticipated, and he's like, that's your comment about every FF2 challenge run that you do, and I can't help but agree. The fact is that the tools that you're given here are just so much more powerful than what the enemy can deal with. It's kind of sad. It's going to get harder as we go. I know, right? I mean, just look at how powerful Blink is. It's I don't know how Blink is working now. We've only got level 1 Blink, which means that at best we should only be able to add 1 extra evade for the character that is tanking in the front. But it's quite possible that what Blink does is, as long as it sticks, it doubles the evade. I might need to look at the code. Even if I do look at the NES code, it's possible that they changed it. They made it even more powerful in the remix. Maybe because people weren't using or appreciating the Blink spell enough. I mean, God only knows that Blink is super powerful in the other Final Fantasies that I've played, including Final Fantasy 1. Actually, Blink is quite useful, even in FF1. Although you won't expect it. The evasion mechanic is very simple but very effective. So this is... sadly, this fight is won. Can't even call it a battle of attrition. Yeah, I think I'm gonna need to do a little bit of testing with Blink. So I thought that Chrono, Luca and Frog, they'd all need to get their Blinks in order for Richard to even stand a chance of surviving this fight. But Blink turns out to be much more powerful than I expected, which is disappointing, but at the same time it's also invigorating. Blink OP. Of course, it only works if you've already got your evasion percent to 99. But I'm gonna need to try out a couple tests for this. My theory is that Blink actually doubles the target's evade level, even if it only lands one hit. In which case, there is really no purpose in leveling up the Blink spell. On a side note, the generals have how much? 1900 HP, and we are doing hardly 100 per turn per general. And this is a 2 general fight, which is going to be a random encounter in the next dungeon. Sadly, this fight doesn't really show how dangerous generals can be. These guys are one of the most dangerous enemies in the game. But no. Blink OP. By the way, Blink OP. I mean, Blink Rampart doesn't hold a candle to how powerful Blink is in this game. You know, thinking of Rampart, the only downside to oh, there we go! That general actually got a hit in. How? What is happening here? Very surprising. Well, I need to heal up Richard. That was what I just don't know what happened there. So does it mean that generals are not getting all their 10 hits in? That particular instance, that general must have rolled 10 hits, in which case one of those hits actually landed. Even an older campaign than Derelict. Yeah, but it has to be good though. How do you is it the same process that you used to decide to pick up fan-made campaigns for free space as Tomb Raider? Does it have a website with ratings and whatnot? And I must admit, the TRLE community is quite awesome. There's no rating system. I never realized that Tomb Raider was such a popular game. Pretty sure they don't want one. Now that cures are out of the way, you are on Thunder duty, you are on Blizzard, and you are on Thunder. 3000 free space campaigns! Jesus! Wow, and only about, compared to that, only about 1,000 Tomb Raider campaigns or levels. What do you call them? Okay, not 3,000 campaigns. I misread that, and I'm dropping frames. Can I please not drop frames? Okay, seems to be fine. Oh, so there are more Tomb Raider campaigns than Free Space. I had no idea Tomb Raider is that popular. There are over 3K entries. Serious numbers that. 200, 300 free space campaigns. Okay, so definitely nowhere near as popular as Tomb Raider, but wow. I mean, 200, 300 custom campaigns. Oh, finally one general down. If people dedicated their time to make these many campaigns, actually I should look up how many Age of Empires campaigns there are. I'm quite sure there are a lot of fan-made campaigns. For one of the most popular games I've ever seen, I'd like to know how many custom campaigns there are. If making campaigns for Age of Empires is, if making campaigns for Free Space is kind of like as difficult as the ones for Age of Empires, then you have to appreciate the amount of dedication put into that, no matter how bad the actual campaign is in terms of gameplay. And you know, regarding Babylon and Free Space and what was that, Descent? How come you have such a fetish for space-based stuff? I'm assuming that you've even seen TV series and movies regarding space. Pretty easy to make. Okay. 15 minutes. Wow. Okay. So kudos to the mission editor, whoever designed the mission editor. That guy understood user friendliness. But then again, it's a relatively simple game as well. I mean, it looks very hi-fi when you stream it, but I think at its core it must be a pretty simple game without all the voice acting and all. It's totally action. Initially, I thought maybe you had to commandeer ships like, what was that? FTL. And you had to upgrade your ships and, be a captain of some sort. But I guess it's just purely action. Only thing you need to do is select your ship based on what tactical advantages it gives you. On the plus side, constantly barraging this guy with level 1 spells is making this battle drag on for God knows how many turns. We are guaranteed an intelligence level up, if not a spirit level up. Now there aren't more than just flavor. I guess voice acting was added to kind of introduce an RPG element there. But I'm very, very impressed by the voice acting, I have to admit. It sounds so professional. I was shocked when you told me it is fan-made. I mean, they actually speak like soldiers, insofar as my experience of soldiers goes. Obviously from TV series and movies. Speaking of TV series, I was just asking, how did you develop this space fetish? Battlestar Galactica, all kinds of space games, FTL, Descent, Free Space. I'm sure there must be 1,000 more in your repertoire. 51 pudding. How the hell did I get 51 pudding? Must have won some more pudding. 4 more just space RTS. Okay. So nostalgia, eh? But the space element of that game must have taken you in. Otherwise, why would you be playing genres based on space itself? I'm assuming there's a wide variety of games which has outer space elements, but the gameplay is completely different. Kind of one of a kind. Space RTS, one of a kind, really? I've seen plenty of them. Actually, correction, I have not seen plenty of them. There was one game one of my friends was playing. It was about... was he controlling planets? I don't know, I didn't pay a lot of attention there. Space RTS is still mostly 2D. Oh, GG, there we go. Blink level, thunder level, MP, increase intelligence, agility, magic, blizzard, blink, MP, intelligence, spirit. There we go, lots and lots of stats and levels. And Richard's evasion increases. Dragon armor! Okay, I can actually put this to use. I should move anywhere on the map, up and down. I can actually put dragon armor to use, but first of all we need to save. I will save on slot 1, and as usual, just like I did last time, we are gonna try multiple strats given all the tools that we have, despite not bothering to level up. First of all, let me just organize magic. What did level up? Blink and Thunder leveled up. Cure did not level up, fortunately, so that's good. So we need Blink and Thunder on Chrono. We need Blizzard on Luca. And nothing else, right? And Blink. We need Blink and Blizzard on Luca. We need Blink and Thunder on Frog. So the stuff that we use, basically. I should have plenty of these books available to me. Blizzard for Luca. Thunder for Chrono and Frog. And Blink for everyone. Where is Blink? There we go. Alright, let me just pop in a save and we shall reload. Reload simply carries on to the end of the game. Oh, permadeath! So, what is the... what? I've loaded from the wrong save. So, what is the strategy elements there? Is it build and keep? Okay, now that we are done with that, obviously the cheese strat is just to throw teleport books, which is okay, ambush, this is not good. But we should be able to just kill them outright if we are not too unlucky. Very few encounters in this game are not vulnerable to this strategy. Although it makes sense to know that as we proceed through the game, the late game monsters do have a lot of magic defense. Let's just throw teleport books at them. No, not really. Oh, look at that. Just one teleport book and they're both dead. Yeah, very few encounters in this game are not vulnerable to this strat, which is why the speedrun uses this predominantly. Keep in rock, paper, scissors kind of combat. Bishops are more over the sides and rear. When was Homeworld released? Sounds like a lot of mouse movement. Alright, what strategy are we going to try next? Now that we have just demonstrated that we can use... well, now that we have demonstrated that the legit strategy was completely tenable. 1999, nice. Again, I'm going to compare RTSs to Age of Empires, of course. So I'm kind of guessing it's like that. You need a lot of micromanagement. And back in 1999, games were actually difficult, Kappa. So, especially on hard mode, it must have been a blast. I played since it released. Alright, next thing what we're gonna try is we're not gonna bother using our own magic. Instead, we'll use magic as items. So technically, this is obviously breaking the rule of level 1. Not breaking the rule, but we are allowed to use the item command. I don't think that was part of the plan, but we'll check it out. As always, so instead of using Blink 1, what we're gonna do is just use a Blink book to get Blink 8 multi-target. Well, is this gonna work? I don't think this is gonna work, but as we have seen, Blink is very, very powerful. How powerful we shall find out, because Chrono, Luca and Glenn don't have any levels in any evade levels. So look at that, just look at that. Even though Chrono, Luca, even though our 3 party members don't have any evade, having spent most of the 1998 campaign. What? Okay, Free Space 1. Free Space 2 was released in 1999. When was Free Space 1? Now that we've set up with Blink, we can just go all out with other spells, damage spells. Are there any other spells that we can use? This is in 1998. Okay. We can use the... Nah, that'll be for the next demonstration. So in terms of damage, let's just use Firebolt, Thunder. We can use Drain, but we don't really care about it. Do we have any other damage books? Mini is instant death, we're not going to bother with that. Why am I using fire? Actually, I don't care about what I'm going to use because I'm not going to save this anyway. Once again, it's just going to be press A to win here. What this shows is that we don't need to bother with leveling up our magic at all, just buy a fuck ton of books. Of course, this only works in the portable remix, GBA and PSP, and the iOS version, but generally that's based on the PSP. So when I say GBA PSP, what I mean is GBA version onwards, where you had unlimited inventory. FS release a year and a half after FS1 is mostly the same engine and scripting. Remember the mission edit actually has the input. Although that might be an FS open feature. Backward compatibility. Those were the days, eh? This is one way of getting through this. I mean, once again, I have to admit, the power of Blink is amazing. I guess enough Blink must have stuck on Chrono, Luca and Frog that they actually got level 10. We need level 10 to consistently evade these guys, and we can see that consistently all 3 of them are evading consistently. I thought it would take at least 1 or 2 turns, not 1 or 2 turns, at least it would take 3 or 4 turns to set up with Blink to get enough evade levels to evade these guys, but apparently not. Space games. Lots of big names like Wing Commander and Star Wars X-Wing. Played all of them, eh? How much variety was there in space games? So there's an RTS, there is then a pure execution like Descent and Free Space. Maybe there was some RPG as well. But yeah, I'm quite fascinated that someone can get attracted to just the fact that these games are based on outer space or have elements of outer space. Same genre as Free Space. Okay, just execution. Action. There we go, that's the way. Of course, benefit of this approach is that we get high-level spells basically by throwing money. We need to spend a lot of money to buy those spell books after all. Persian Civilization, like... Civilization? Okay, you were into Civilization. It's the ability to use spellbooks as items is one of the most powerful features that Final Fantasy II provides, in my opinion. But I think the intention behind this was just to have you use it in certain circumstances. I never played any of those. Okay. So the space genre didn't actually have a proper RTS apart from what was that RTS? Homeworld. Alright, now what we're going to try is we are actually, now that we have the blood sword, we're going to try to use physical attacks as well. Let's give this a shot. But we need Richard dead for this. That's fine. I have means by which he'll die pretty easily. What am I doing? Star Wars AoE clone attack. Clone back in the day too. There was? What? As usual, first thing we need to do is set up with Blink, because if we don't have Blink... Greetings, hello Blind Archer, how are you doing? You missed me getting my ass handed on the what is that, slums of Goog City in Tactics. But I'm gonna be doing that, I'm gonna be repeating that day after tomorrow anyway. I'm coming for that. Apparently, the two fights after that particular mission, after that map, are very difficult ones, I've been told. So looking forward to that. Unfortunately, I have not been able to spend any time off stream, so gonna approach it blind once again. Okay, this fight we are actually going to be approaching. We are actually going to be using the blood sword. Best candidate to use the blood sword is Guy because of his high attack stat. The blood sword has minor accuracy problems. What are we going to do here? We are going to use items which are not spellbooks. So assume that you've not got any spellbooks. You've just picked up or gotten a lot of item drops. How can we do that? We did purchase Gaia charms which we can use for some damage. What else can we do? Twin Spirit, Hermishus, definitely Bell of Silence we can use to cast Silence. Spider Silk, I think it'll actually be helpful here because Spider Silk essentially will halve the number of hits the enemy gets. If it having his ass handed to him. So spider silk, hopefully, yeah. The problem with these items is that we need to really desperately hope that they stick. It's not as if we don't have a contract with these items that if they fail to work on the enemy, that we'll still have them in the inventory. We lost them for good. Bell of Silence Acid File is another damage spell. Hourglass casts Stop. Stop is just paralysis, equivalent to paralysis in this game. I don't really see a use for it ever. After the amount of blink, after we've been blinked up now, the enemy has been neutralized because he only has physical attack. So using status effects on him doesn't really make sense. We'll just go ahead with damage. Let's try Betrayal Fang if we can confuse him. If we can confuse him, then that would really help us out in terms of damage, so that we'll kill himself. Now, the Blood Sword. Let's give it a shot. Confuse 16. Please confuse him. Oh yes, 10 hits on himself for 800 damage. That is how useful confusion is. That is how useful confusion is. So what I'm gonna do now is just have him kill himself. Yeah, I've been playing way too much Final Fantasy V, so I was kind of surprised why the general didn't snap out of confusion after hitting himself. That's not how it works in Final Fantasy II. Yeah, he's just gonna kill himself. There we go. Idiot. Mission design content in the single player category. Subsequently included in the Silent Threat expansion disc. Ooh! Okay, you might have found another classic. Official fan-made campaign contest. Oh my god! It's hard to believe that a company like that actually went bust. What must have happened in such a short space of time? The game released in 1998, and then code released. Company went bust by 2003. What the hell? You know what? They must actually have been passionate about the stuff they're doing instead of making money. That's what happened with Sun Microsystems also, didn't it? They fucked up the marketing. Alright, sadly, because we used the Betrayal Fang actually work last time, we did not get to see the Blood Sword in action. So this is going to be yet another attempt. But yeah, my theory, without knowing anything at all, probably that these guys were more like, not that interested in making money. Which is pretty bad for a company's survival. Okay, so Richard is in the front row. What we're going to do is we're going to take off his shield so that he dies. We want our guys in the front row. I should probably have put everybody else in the front row, but in case of an ambush, I didn't want to risk it. And he can just defend, so that he doesn't get any experience for barefist. Not that he's going to survive, but just in case. There we go. Is he dead? He's still not dead. What? No, he's dead. Fine. Okay. So this is an extension of the last strat. We are going to be using items that we picked up over the course of our journey so far. What items will come in handy? So just for dealing damage, I think Gaia Drum is our best option for damage. And we've got plenty of Gaia Drums. What other things do we have? We got an acid file. Let's just throw the acid file. This is poison 16 after all. But we do have other mechanisms of poison 16. Skip over the domes, and we've got a bunch of weapons that we can use to cast spells. Major Staff for For Bolt 5, Wizard Staff. Yeah, Wizard Staff is just simply a better version of Acid Fire. Wizard Staff is unlimited Poison 16, so why even bother with the Acid Fire? Is there anything else that we can use to cast spells? And I think, yeah, finally we've got the Wyvern which you can use to cast Fire 7. So let's check that out. Wait, what? We can use a Defender? No, we can't use the Defender as an item. I was like, why is this not grayed out? This is not grayed out because I think I'm in the equipment menu, which is the same as the item menu. So we can use the Wyvern. Let's check the Wyvern out. We can just get rid of the Acid Fire. Instead of Acid Fire, we'll have Maria use the Wizard Staff for Poison 16. If I can find it. And Guy is going to be using the Blood Sword. So we got one turn in and we saw that the Blood Sword missed, which is what I was speaking about, accuracy. And despite being a massively better game because of fucked up marketing, eh? I mean, if they went to the bother of actually making Free Space 2, does it not imply that Free Space 1 was already popular? I mean, I would assume that at least the people who bought Free Space 1 would have bought Free Space 2 as well. That is quite surprising. But yeah, shit like this always happens. What am I doing with Firion? Firion's supposed to use 100,000 copies. 100,000 copies sounds like good, but it's good for the genre. Okay. If you say so. 100k doesn't look like it's enough to even recuperate the development costs. Looks like a pretty good game. Maybe it's just because of the mods. Continue using the Wyvern and let's give Guy say 10 turns to prove whether he can actually hit with the Blood Sword. Didn't cost that much back then. Fair point, but I mean, definitely didn't cost $100 million, but definitely didn't cost like less than 1,000 either. So that is turn number 2 that Guy has failed to land with his Blood Sword, and the only reason I'm using the Blood Sword is because no other weapon is tenable. So the Descent Free Space earned nearly $4 million. $4 million. Yeah, I mean, maybe back then $4 million was a huge thing. Maybe for a fledgling company, $4 million is a pretty big thing. Poison 16 doing 151 damage. I'm quite impressed. Let's check out the Gaia drum. So there's 3 turns where Guy has failed to land a hit, even one hit. Earthquake 10. How much damage is this gonna do? This is quite fascinating. 100 damage at this stage in the game seems respectable. That is turn number 4 where Guy has failed. This is what I was talking about with accuracy. The Blood Sword has pathetic accuracy to begin with. But the only reason that we want to use the Blood Sword is because the Blood Sword does damage based on the number of hits that we get with the Blood Sword. It's completely independent of your attack, independent of the enemy's defense, which is considerable at this stage in the game. So yeah, we got problems with the Blood Sword. We will have similar problems with using any weapons. We would have similar problems using any weapons. Not quite as bad because I think you still get one hit at least. You would get a hit in, but with any other weapons, because defense comes into play, it won't really matter. Doing zero damage doesn't make sense even if you do manage to land a hit. That is the only reason that only the blood sword is a weapon that we can consider in a level 1 challenge run. Simply because it'll do 1/8 of the enemy's HP in damage. It'll heal Guy, but who cares about that? So how do we work around this problem? Let's just check out his accuracy quickly. With the most powerful weapon that we have so far, the Defender, he's got an accuracy of 82. It's still not 99. 82 accuracy is okay, but one must remember that the enemy has evasion as well. With the blood sword, first of all, he's got an attack of 4, but that does not matter. That's there to debate you. Yeah, 18% accuracy. So there ain't no way in hell that he's gonna actually land a hit. How do we work around this problem? Let's check it out. As always, we're gonna set up a fling, and we actually got a preemptive strike. What the hell, game? Blink, please. Oh, hang on. Does he have the blood sword? Yeah. Let me just get him back on his shields so that he's well protected, and we'll use another blink here. And Richard needs to die, so I'll just remove his shields. This fight is going to be done by Chrono, Luca and Frog. Only when I'm doing this legit, which was the first attempt, is when I'm relying on Richard's evasion. This time the other guys can just defend, or rather attack. I prefer attack over the defend command for 2 reasons. First is the defend command is not available in any other version. Oh, forgot to switch him over to the blood sword. Mission you can do better than Star Wars for notoriety, and the best Star Wars game was X-Wing Alliance, and that sold less than 200k. Oh, so comparatively this is quite good. It's a damn good game too. So not many people like you have just like space games in general. Maybe if that's mixed with other elements, maybe. Which brings me back to the original point. How is it that you like the space genre itself? Rather than maybe tactics or RPG, something like that. You just like to play space games. Whether it's RPG, RTS, or action, 2D, 3D, doesn't matter. Alright, I think we have established that guy's not gonna hit worth a damn. So how do we work around that issue? If it is I'm not saying that you like only space games. I'm asking, why do you like space games? I think I'm struggling to get my point across here, is that as if space itself is a genre. Games with outer space elements, regardless of whether it's an RPG or tactics. I'm a big fan of spaceships and lasers. Nostalgia, there you go. Okay, so I was talking about how we can get across that problem. What we can do is we got a tool here, the haste spell. The haste spell essentially increases your number of hits for the duration of the battle. So that's what we're going to be doing. That animation is just hilarious. Oh, despite haste, he's not able to land a hit. That is kind of disappointing. And Frog. Still not able to land a hit? Really? There we go, 2 hits. Yeah, so I guess haste. How much was that? How many samples was like haste 6, I believe. That was not enough to consistently have Frog get hits in with the blood sword. That's how bad the accuracy of the blood sword is. But we've got an even better solution. What we're gonna do is essentially, even though Luca used the Hermes sandal, it's still subject to the base spell accuracy of haste. So we are going to combine that with yet another tactical option that we've got. But first, we need to blink. If you see, the pattern here is that we absolutely always want blink up. That is one thing. Without range, I don't think that I can make any strategies work. Ouch! That bastard actually got his turn in before we could get blinks up, so that's why this happened. I mean, yeah, speaking of blink, I was talking about the weakness with Rampart, right? We are kind of dependent on turn order with Rampart. So ideally you should give it to the person who's going to take his turn first, but since there is no way to guarantee that you get your turn before the enemy, without level grinding of course. See, that is my main problem with level based RPGs, which is 99% of them after all. I mean, I shouldn't even say level based RPGs, but I just started using the term level based RPGs because, I mean, after I played Final Fantasy 2. What am I doing here? Yeah, we need haste. So, what happened last time is that maybe the Hermes Sandal was not as effective as it could have been. One way to increase haste accuracy so that it gets as many hits in, independent is kind of the theme of Bravely Default and most RPGs actually. Most RPGs just cannot guarantee turn order unless you outlevel the enemy by a long margin. We've got this tool called Sage's Wisdom. Essentially, since spell accuracy is to a large part based on the caster's intelligence value, we are using Sage's Wisdom to temporarily increase Luca's intelligence stat to 99. And with a stat of 99, she will get 100% accuracy for single target spells. So now that we've got 99 intelligence on Luca, she's going to use the Hermes shoes. And let me just pay attention to what it is. Haste 8! That is haste 8. Wow, that is awesome. So now Frog should have level 8 in not level 8. He should be rolling 8 hits on that blood sword, but because of the shitty accuracy 18%, out of those 8 hits probably only one is going to actually land. Of course we have to consider the general's evasion as well. So let's take a look at this now. Yeah, look at that, 1 hit again. 16 hits and any enemy will die. It's still missing. This time it should be hitting more often than not. 1 hit is more than enough. After all, we only need 16 hits. As long as the enemy is not undead. 4 hits this time, nice! Maybe that was a crit. I wish there was an item that would make strength go up as well, so that we could even use the lower variety of weapons. But then again, there is a spell which does the same thing, so I can't really complain. He's still not dead. Why is he not dead? Did we not get 16 hits in? That should be it. Come on. Didn't really expect this to take so long, but there we go. combination of haste plus level 1, even though technically you can argue that it's not level 1, does the job for us. Alright. So despite the level 1 restriction, conditions apply, mind you, we've got so many options. Why I love this game so much. Alright, now that we've dealt with this, let's just get the hell out, continue onwards. We're going to start running into actual bosses this stream, at least that is the hope. Up until now, everything that was considered a boss, including monster in a box, is just an enemy from later in the game, a random encounter from later in the game. One of my gripes about FF2 is that no true bosses until the end game. Is joke campaigns for PSP? Why does it fix it, Chuck? Hurry up to come on, Bureau's continuity glitches. Impossible mission goals. Oh my god, I would actually like that voice acted. Just reading about it is not as hilarious as how they would have actually said it. Have you found any other free space streamers? I was watching Zach stream some baseball game. I was quite surprised that there is an audience for that as well. I don't know if anyone streams that, I see. Can't run. Why do I even bother? Oh my goodness. Pretty horrible here. Yeah, I definitely changed my mind about this dungeon. More unrunnables than not. This is one of the rare formations that is runnable. Captain and Lamia. What other encounters have we seen that are actually runnable? Cockatrices. Cockatrices have been few and far between. Imagine that. I'm actually asking for cockatrice encounters. What has happened to me? Yeah, all other encounters are unrunnable. Very disappointing. Because my general experience in this dungeon has been you can run from a lot of encounters here. Nope. This time Devil's Bloom decided to approach by himself instead of with his Goto's allies, cronies. Would you consider Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic also as a space game? I was watching a Knights of the Old Republic stream earlier this week, and I must admit I didn't really see any space stuff in that. Maybe it was just the wrong section of the game. Captain's doing 4 damage on Richard? What the hell? Space science fiction, I see. Alright. Hopefully we've finally got a boss worth our time here. Wind flute obtained, monster in a box. Ambushed, poison cloud. Oh rip, this is gonna be bad. Excuse me? That is rude. What a bastard. Ambushed and just screwed me over. Similar to Mass Effect. Oh right, Mass Effect! How could I forget about that? Another poison cloud. This is gonna be ripped. This is gonna be ripped. So, okay. How do we deal with this guy now? First thing, please don't give me an ambush, which is very rare. As I mentioned before, 90% of the fights from here on are going to be ambushes. So, really need to make sure that we don't start off on the back foot. Okay, so we got the dragon encounter now. As he's just demonstrated, this guy does have pretty powerful AoE. In fact, it's so powerful that Chrono and Frog can't even survive a hit. We need to rectify that ASAP by equipping gold shields at the very least. Gold shields are resistant to poison, which was his poison cloud attack, which is his signature move. I think, yeah, this dragon only is a true two-trick pony. Imagine calling dragon a pony. He's got pretty brutal physical hit, and then of course he's got that poison cloud attack. Can I find the gold shield please? I've got way too much stuff in my inventory. So to protect against his physical attack, I'm just gonna hope that my party members have enough HP to survive at least 2 or 3 rounds of his poison cloud. That is after resistance, mind you. Maria is the only one. Last time we saw that Maria was taking about 60 damage, while the others were taking over 200 damage because of a lack of poison resistance. That's pretty easy with the gold shield. Blink, yeah. So in order to protect against his physical attacks, the first thing we need to do is obviously use Blink. Hey, wait, what? She does not have the gold shield. How? How was she not taking any damage? Huh, very surprising. Very surprising. I'm quite sure that the mithril shield doesn't protect against poison. Very surprising. What about Guy? Guy has flame shield and ice shield. Or maybe the mithril shield does protect against poison. Shall we test it out? I would be very shocked. I mean, wow. If the mithril shield protects against poison, I would be shocked. Blink. So yeah, let's make sure that Richard is protected. Of course, everybody is susceptible. I forgot to equip a gold shield on Richard. There we go, poison cloud. Ouch! Yeah, mithril shield does not protect against poison. So how is Maria taking, Luca? How is Luca only taking 60 damage? Quite surprising, quite surprising. Because of the gold shield, Chrono took only 60 damage. Frog pretty much died. He took over 200 damage. Holy crap. Let's bring everybody back to life and use some cures. What we need to do here is we need to survive. I think if Chrono, all three of them, Chrono, Luca and Frog used cure, we could out-heal the dragon. And I think Richard already has the gold shield, so he's protected. Right now we're just in a fight for survival here. We need to buy some turns. Cure level 1. This is where stats come in handy. Yeah, there we go. If the dragon just decided to use a physical attack, that's just a free turn for us from here on. So we're gonna make use of that. We're gonna heal up to full. The only reason we want to heal up to full is to prepare against future poison attacks. Ideally, what I'm looking for is when the battle is about to end, he uses his poison cloud attack so that my characters get a little bit damaged and they have a good chance of gaining HP. But I'm not going to take a risk. I'm not going to take stupid risks. Although taking stupid risks is part and parcel of Fine Fancy too, especially if you're not looking to grind using the various exploits. I particularly don't like hitting my own party members just to gain HP, but I'm still debating whether that was something completely intentional. Not sure that was intentional. Okay, basically for Halloween. Nice. Which site are you getting this from? It's almost as if this is the first time you're visiting that site. The dragon is in a surprisingly cooperative mood today. Alright, now that everybody's healed up, let us go on the offensive. The question here is from the Nossos mod manager. Oh. So the software that you use to mod the game, it also lists whatever is available. Nice. Let's go on the offensive. What are we supposed to do here? We always need to keep in mind that he's going to use Poison Cloud. Oh yeah. Recent-ish thing, 2 to 3 years old. So there is still quite a lot of interest in free space. People are going to the extent of making these mod managers and all. I thought all the mods you were playing were at least 10 years old. So I'm keeping up with all the FS mods. What is the most recent free space mod? Seriously, the passion that I view here is just amazing. Even for such derelict games, if I can use that. I forgot to equip. Oh no, I did not. I actually do have Osmos. Now, Osmos is a very tactically important spell. We can use Osmos, but I'm not going to use Osmos. I'm going to speak a little bit about Osmos. Now, in general, what I think this is one of the first dangerous enemy that we've met who has AoE spells, which means that our back row is not safe. Oh yeah, Thunder is going to do a massive amount of damage to this guy because he's weak to Thunder, being the opposite element, Poison. I don't know how that works, don't ask me how that works. Now most monsters are generally just simple AI. They have a physical attack and they have magic. They have MP. The way monsters work is they'll either use a physical attack or they'll use magic, and everything apart from the physical attack is considered a magical attack. The mission campaign was released in February 2019. Nice! That is so awesome. Four mission campaign, so relatively small. So in this case, we are because of poison resistance, we have easy access to poison resistance. We are able to sustain the damage. Yeah, there we go. I forgot to give Guy a poison golden shield. God damn it. And dropping frames. Are we back up? Looks like we're back up. Oh, dropped a whole bunch of frames there. RIP. I have no idea what I was talking about. How much damage did guy take? I think one cure from Furion should get him to a good amount of HP. We need a gold shield on Furion ASAP, if possible. Do we have more gold shields? We don't have gold shields. Oh god, I should have bought some gold shields. Oh, he's gonna take so much damage. Feels bad, man. Most, but most can be actually just mission script files you find in the FTXE without anything else. FSOEXE. Yeah, but I mean, what do you want to do? Go into the technical details? Okay, so I guess there is no other option. He's gonna take a massive amount of damage. You know what? Chrono has more HP than Glenn. Actually, screw it. I need to remember to buy another gold shield for Frog. Modded campaigns, actual new ships interface music ships that. Okay, so that's what you meant by the difference between mod and whatever you want to call this. Custom campaigns. Another poison cloud. Frog is going to take more massive damage. Somehow we are surviving. So ideally we'd like to just shut the enemy down. Vastly different skills. Yeah, I can understand that. Someone should heal Maria. Models a makeshift and make a move from used in the campaigns. I want this ship made for this campaign. Oh. I guess that's a nice system there. The fact that you can make the core mechanics of the game independent from what missions that you want to use them in. That's pretty cool. That's pretty cool, even from a programming standpoint. Ships happen and campaigns happen in parallel. Yeah, they are independent of each other. Nice design. Another poison cloud. Yeah, ideally we want to shut the enemies down. And because of the mechanics of this game, I won't say it's easy to do, but it's definitely in the realms of possibility. So what we want to do in order to shut down enemies, magic wise, is either drain all of their MP, or we could cast we could silence them if they are not immune to it. Even if they are immune to it, we can actually silence them by using Dispel. Dispel removes immunities. But as far as getting status effects to hit, obviously that's not going to happen in a level 1 challenge. So our only course of option, which is a very effective course of option actually, is to drain the enemy of MP. Nostos, September 2018. Why do you say it's big recent release? Is it like from a big name or something? Biggest size mod 2013. It's still the biggest size mod today in terms of size, or in terms of the number of campaigns, number of missions rather. Wow. I'm already through with my water bottle, so I need a refill here. I'll be right back. I is back with a full water bottle now. Just make sure that I modify the exe to accommodate it. Virtual fork in the source code project. Ambitious mods still happen. Did I save? We are saving on slot 2 so that we can load back from slot 1. Alright. So let's go with a couple more approaches. We have done this legit. People in the community that have been there since 2001. That is some dedication. Can I not load from this damn save? Okay. So what are we going to do here? We are going to just use Spellbox. As usual, we need to set up a blink in order to nullify his physical attack, which is, one could say, the most dangerous component of the opposition. I really should get more gold shields. I don't know, I have no idea why she is immune to poison. Oh, hang on. She's got the ribbon. I keep forgetting about this. Now that we are set up with Blink, after that we are just gonna go on the offensive. We've got a whole bunch of Thunder Tomes after all, so that's not going to be an issue. The DPS is gonna be pretty good. Where is the Thunder book? Thunder, there we go. $270 damage per hit. Yeah, I will take that. Of course, we are getting so much damage because everybody's been steadily gaining intelligence through all these fights. But yeah, you can see how many options we've got. This is yet another boss we can cheese with teleport after all. Poison Cloud, nobody cares about that. He'll be dead soon enough. Oh! Frog just died. Damage range on that Poison Cloud. Still not dead. Parry campaign. Anymore? Lord Ultra Death. Still don't know who that was. What the hell? Parody campaign as in, what was it based on? Oh, Luca's gonna die. Probably should have healed up before I came into this fight. There we go, that was clutch. But regardless, I think I've showed off what I wanted to show off. Other well-known campaigns, okay. This time we're not going to be using spellbook, but of course we do need to set up with Blink. There is no item that will act as a replacement for Blink. So we set up with Blink, and since oh yeah, speaking of shutting down the enemy, of course we can also use Sleep, we can also use Confusion, all of those tools at our disposal for monsters that have magic, even for monsters that don't have magic, but since Blink works so well on physical monsters, physical only monsters. Dinner Fuchsia's Forum. We still use the Forum. Forum is a classic. Oh, that was a lot of damage. Why was that so much damage? Let's see what we can use now. Bell of Silence, yeah. Bell of Silence might actually come in handy here in order to silence the enemy. Hourglass, Sleepgrass. I think Sleepgrass is the most effective. Can we silence him? He's silenced, there we go. Of course, silence is a temporary status ailment, so he'll snap out of silence soon enough. I think he's asleep as well? No, he's not asleep. Pity. Let's try another Sleepgrass, and Luca can use... Let's see how long he's actually going to remain silenced. Oh, look at this. We got a wind flute from this monster in a box, and we can already use it. Wind flute is what? Wind damage, right? Let's try some wind damage. Hopefully we can put him to sleep. Cyclone, right. Cyclone does a lot of damage. I'm not sure that we can use a Gaia Drum against this guy. Yeah, this guy is asleep as well as silenced. It's great that in the remakes they actually show what status he's inflicted with. Another thing that we can do is of course use Fog to attempt to permanently silence him. This inflicts a mute status ailment. We'll give that a try if he ever recovers from his silence. Do I not have the Mage's Staff? Excuse me. Oh yeah, there we go. Mage's Staff. You can use the Mage's Staff for some free fire. Free bolt 5. That is good damage from the wind flute. I expected the Mage's Staff to do more than that, but that is the difference between just a level 5 spell, even if it's one that affects a weakness, versus a level 13 spell. I think Cyclone is non-elemental. I don't remember if there's a wind element in Final Fantasy 2. Don't think so. Okay, he's out of sleep, but he's still silenced, so that's quite impressive. And we've already lost the wind flute. That's the problem with those consumable items. Sometimes they'll disappear. Hopefully you'll get like 10 uses out of it. Let's see if this guy actually is susceptible to Gaia Drum. Earthquake. Considering that he's flying, he's immune to Gaia Drum. So what else can we do? How about the Betrayal Fang to confuse him? Confuse 16. Confuse 16 should almost be guaranteed. Yeah, there we go. But he snapped out of confusion, sadly. What else can we do? Let's put him back to sleep. Why not? I'm just using all the items at my disposal. And he's asleep again. Poison, I think he actually absorbs poison, so, or maybe he just resists it, so using the Blizzard Staff is obviously a bad idea. What else can we do? The only other option that we've got here is to use the Wyvern, who is unlimited fire 7, I believe. Blaze 7, whatever. Blaze, I think Blaze is slightly more powerful version of fire. Quite sure that in the NES version it was the same as fire. It was not called anything different. It was just called Blaze. Just know they will have to be streamed at some point. What? What? Is that like a different Space Games, or it's one of the mods? Parody mod? Oh my god, you're totally into it right now. Joke Kevin. Hope it's got voice acting. Disco music is involved. Right, so yeah, using items and anime. And of course, we've got our tried and tested strategy of don't ask. Nope, not gonna ask. We've got, damn it. We've got our cheese strategy here of just using teleport. Why not? Because we don't have enough tools to deal with the enemy, right? Miss, damn it. Making me look bad here. Oh crap. Come on, one teleport has to land. Yeah, this is what I was talking about. These endgame enemies will have a lot of defense. There we go. Let's get back on schedule. It was this one, right? Just another day to electric boogaloo. Shivan's on a plane. Christmas special. God picture availability based on location. Oh god. Thunder and Cure for Chrono. Thunder and Cure for Luca. And the same? Yeah, the same for everyone. Thunder and Cure for everyone. Where's the Cure book? Okay, now that we have set this up, let's continue onwards. I think we are at the end of this dungeon right now. Oh yes, so this part is really bad. Oh damn it. The guy who made that is still active. Alright, we are going to get into so-called boss gauntlet. So, you've revived the wyverns and now, here you are. Yet, still you are mere insects, unworthy even of being crushed under my foot. Okay, we are unworthy of dealing with that guy. So let's deal with his minions first. So now we are actually forced to fight royal guards, which we've been resetting away from all this dungeon. But these guys are pretty simple. What? Physical attacks only, right? And we know how to deal with physical attacks only. No problem at all. Bunch of overconfident teenagers with massive although they got the teenagers part wrong, but yeah, I guess it was aimed at those guys. So here we actually have a conundrum. No, we don't. We've got 3 spells. The problem is, well, we'll see what the problem is. Let's just kill these guys first. Press A to win. Yeah, when was this mod, by the way? These days, just assuming that your game is aimed at teenagers is obviously not correct. The original is 2014 to 2004. Oh, okay. Bunch of overconfident teenagers only overpowered spaceships. Oops, dropping frames. Wow, I don't know what is wrong with my internet today. I'm having fun with release numbers. This is so Game of Thrones-esque. Regarding the books, at least. They actually have separate campaigns. What? It might just increase the minor version number. I think the entire reason that the Royal Guard formation is unrunnable in this dungeon is because they appear as bosses right now. It would be pretty hilarious if we could run away from these minions right now and just say, "Hey, Emperor! All we want to direct one-on-one fight with you. Are you chicken?" But technically speaking, this sequence is quite difficult. At least in a speedrun or a general challenge run setting, because right now we have to deal with 3 fights in a row. 2 of them are going to be Royal Guards, so that's not going to pose much of a problem for us. But specifically for our level 1 challenge run, after this, of course, the challenge we are facing here is that after every fight, 1 or 2 of our spells are going to level up, which is going to make things difficult. Especially if Blink levels up, I'm going to be completely screwed. And I don't see a way past it. So the problem is, if Blink levels up this fight, and the next fight is immediately after this fight, so I have no healing. They don't give us any time. after this fight and after the next fight for the fight with the Emperor. So this is something I did not consider. What I'm gonna just do is I'm gonna do these fights one after the other. And consider them as completely separate fights. So once I'm done with this, I'll just reset and cheese them via using teleport. And then we'll take the next fight, which is actually the same as this fight. So does it even matter? I don't think it does. In fact, I don't even know why I bother with these monsters which only have physical attacks. If Blink at level 1 was good enough, even for the general, even for the fight with generals, who are arguably the hardest hitting physical monsters in the game, I think it has proven itself, and we are immune to physical attacks no matter what the enemy is. Kind of sad. And can you die, please? I think these guys have about 900 HP. We are not doing as much damage as I thought we would. One thing I did consider in this challenge run was to grind up stats, because they are not under the purview of skills, which are the only ones considered for the challenge run. So grinding up HP, MP, strength, agility and stuff was an option. I was just wondering if it would actually be worth it. The wrong release date. Lot of history in there. That date made it very convenient for you guys. Maybe I should try the coin and rubber band trick on the controller here. This mod is ridiculous. I should feel ridiculous while playing it. Seriously, what is wrong with these guys? Ridiculous, the director's cut. This is where the memory cursor really helps out. Absolutely no effort required. Finally. Oh yeah, Blink also leveled up, so this is actually not tenable. We can't go through this like this, because if Blink leveled up, I am not able to use Blink in the next fight. So what I'm gonna do is, now that we've taken care of the royal gods, let's just reset. Being there when those campaigns released. How did you come to know about them? Right now you've got this, what's that? Nosso stool. Shit, I know. Accept it, just embrace it. So here's what we're gonna do. But first, for the Royal Guards fight, I'm just gonna be like, screw you guys. Screw you guys, I'm going home. Hopefully this will take care of everyone. Oh, all 4 of them. Nice one, Chrono. Only problem with this approach is that those fights are not going to give me any stats. That is the one disadvantage of the item commands. But then again, for the amount of power that it offers you, it's a worthwhile trade-off. Not always. Yeah. You see, you defeated 4 of my guards. Oh no, how dare you. Here, have 2 more. The Emperor's logic. I mean, Finn is not much better. Nice. Normally these guys have enough magic defense to resist. At least one of them will resist that teleport hit. But I guess our people's spirit scores are pretty nice. Now for the real fight. Speaking of when you were there when those campaigns released, how excited did you find out about them at that point in time? Like you used to hang out on the forums. Quite extraordinary, really. It would appear I've sorely underestimated you. You should consider what I'm about to do a great honor. I shall kill you personally. Finally we get to fight this guy. Surprisingly, now the thing about this fight is that this is one of the few fights in the game where you cannot abuse teleport. Need to set up with Blink first and foremost. Linux compatible games. Oh. Okay, did we get a preemptive? Interesting. Okay, now that we've got Blink set up on Richard, he is immune to physical attacks. The Royal Guards and the Wood Golem are physical only monsters, so we don't have to care about them. So let's just concentrate on the Emperor. Surprisingly, oh no, okay, I was like, didn't my Blizzard level up? No. That was an alternate timeline. Surprisingly, why we cannot use teleport books? Actually, we can use teleport, but the wood golem, it's the wood golem that is immune to teleport, and not the Emperor, which is pretty hilarious. The guy who's supposed to be the actual boss of this fight is the one that can be cheesed, but the wood golem is the one we actually have to deal with. In a speedrun, of course. Over here, we're gonna try and do legit. Okay. He's got Thunder 10. How much damage is that gonna do? Not a lot. So that was pretty pathetic. How pathetic was that? Let's just make sure that the guy who can actually use AoE magic against us is taken down first. And then we'll chip away at the other guys who can only do physical attacks. Kind of sad. But again, this is another candidate for when we can use Osmo strats or fog books. Yeah, I forgot to mention that you can just use fog tomes as items to try and inflict the fog status, which is permanent silence. They will not be able to use spells. That is very useful. Just yet another OP tool that Final Fantasy II gives us to combat monsters. I mean, just looking at how powerful Blink is in this playthrough, Just imagine if some of the monsters started using Blink, how much more difficult the game would be. You know what? I think that's one of the best ideas I've ever got. Let's just have more monsters that can use Blink, that can stack Blink on themselves. I think that by itself would increase the difficulty of this game by a lot. So I'm gonna actually jot that down. Oh, you bastard! Did you use slow? Actually, why do I care about slow? This is not an ATB based system. It's not as if our agility is going to be under threat. Slow just reduces the number of hits by physical attacks. Since we are not using physical attacks anyway, which makes me think perhaps we should be using physical attacks. We do have the blood sword after all, but in order to set up for the blood sword, it's absolutely necessary for us to use Sage's Wisdom, to set up with the Sage's Wisdom and the Hermes Sandals, because otherwise the blood sword is just never gonna get a hit in. Who all need a cure? And it's always Guy that is taking the most damage. Blaze, Russell and Ransom. So done like 10 each. I need to count that. True free space fanatics. Those campaigns have been pretty good too. Were they like part of the corporation before? Or just completely independent guys? Page 7. Page 7 is completely wasted on the Emperor because he's in the back row. He can't even use a physical attack. That's another kind of sad thing about Final Fantasy 2 is that the row system, I mean, the enemies try and play by the same rules that our party does, which is not the case in the other Final Fantasies. Bloody hell. FF1, FF3, FF4, FF5, which is the extent of all the Final Fantasies I have played. Enemies don't even need MP to cast their signature spells. I just find that incredibly unfair. But over here, like I said, they play by the same rules. They also have a row system, although for them it's the first 2 rows instead of just the first row, which makes sense because we can get up to 8 monsters, right? So enemies in the back row, Almagets cost MP. A lot of horrible shit doesn't cost MP. I remember in FF1, Chaos can pretty much spam all of his attacks every damn turn, and he doesn't have to care about MP. Wave Cannon doesn't cost MP. In FF3, the enemies don't need to use MP to use even the black magics that they use. Of course, the bosses don't need MP to cast their signature spells, like, what is that? Salamander uses Flame, Garuda uses Lightning. They don't need MP for that, it's so unfair. But but bosses kind of are supposed to be unfair. I just wish that if on equal footing, if you made a boss OP by giving him more HP, more defense, and stuff like that, that would balance it out. That's what FF2 does. The mechanics are the same for enemies as well as allies. So that's why I guess we have such a huge edge. Because once you figure out what does work, there's just nothing that the enemies can do. Because the number of tools that you have at your disposal and the lack of intelligence and tools that they have at their disposal, they can't use the item command. And as we have, if there's one thing that we've seen in this challenge run is that using items is absolutely OP. The further along we get through the game, it does require money. So depending on the economy of the situation. Can you die, please? I think that guy has 1500 HP only, which is less than the wood golem. Wood golem has 1600. Fortunately, the wood golem does have a weakness that we can exploit, so he won't take as much time as this. And this guy's thunder hardly even hurts. Why do you insist on using haste? Speaking of using MP, the Emperor over here has a special ability called Elixir, which I guess tries to mimic the item command using the elixir item. But the funny part is that is also considered a spell. Remember, like I said, enemies can either just use physical attacks or they have to use magic, for which they need MP. And the elixir ability that he's got also costs MP. I believe it costs 10 MP. So the funny part is that if we drain his MP, he can't even use elixir. Oh, there we go. Oh shit! I was just talking about elixir, and he decides to use elixir, and I have to do all this shit all over again. Oh my goodness. You know what? Screw this guy. I'm not going to waste the rest of my stream on him. What we're going to do is, I think we have proven that the Emperor is no threat whatsoever. We're going to get rid of reflective elixir yourself. Elixir is non-reflectable, Kappa. We're just going to destroy this wood golem and call it a day. He'll go down fast enough. I was just speaking of elixir, and the fact that if he is out of MP, he can't even use elixir. I think the smart thing would have been to either run him out of MP or cast fog on him. Let me just quickly check that. Can we actually silence him? Permanently silence him? I'm just gonna have all three of my guys use fog just to maximize the chances of it working. No, I think he is immune. He might be immune to fog. The golem definitely is immune to everything. Well, he's not immune to everything, but he's got massive amounts of magic defense. So yeah, at least this boss is immune to fog. Most bosses are not immune to fog, sadly. Okay, let's just keep wailing on the golem. The Emperor and the Royal Guards are not immune to teleport, so I think what I can do next turn is just teleport the crap out of them, so that only the golem will remain. Only the golem will remain. He used elixir again. What a bastard! Let's just teleport those assholes. This is something I had not considered. So at least I got some new information. Still, it's not as if we can't deal with it. But I guess this is the first battle where I was not able to use completely legitimate strats. I was forced into using spell books as items, simply for the purposes of my sanity, if nothing else. Speaking of sanity, there's this guy doing a quad circle run. I can't believe this. I just can't believe it. He's made it to the final boss, and of course the final boss is just going to be a lottery in Final Fantasy V, I mean. What's our best party? No! I will not die! He said as he just died. Made more angry. It's over. We should get back to Finn. Oh crap, Chrono doesn't talk. What? Do we not get the rebel theme? Through your efforts, we finally defeated the Emperor. Thank you. Oh, GG, end of the game. The world was bound in darkness, but now the light of peace shines once more. I think you're forgetting something. Chrono, Luca, Frog, Richard. What more could we ask of you? The tales of your bravery will be handed down for generations. Now, let us celebrate. Many have come hoping to catch a glimpse of the heroes who brought down the Emperor. I won't want to disappoint them. Just an excuse for more dancing, eh? Well, at least Firin is dancing. Chrono is dancing with Luca here. In the NES version, he was just standing there like an idiot. Layla doesn't have a partner though. That makes me sad. Come on. I think this is the original theme. This is an original Final Fantasy II theme, although I could be wrong. Maybe this is also taken from somewhere, just like that Swan Lake song. Sounds good enough though. Actually does sound like a dance theme. My ladies, my lords, the Dark Knight, Magus, has declared himself Emperor! Oh no! So Magus shows his face finally. He's reawakened Lavos! No, wrong game. He's reorganized the Belamisian Empire! Everyone kept in the red thought version, they're like 2010. This is how you feel happy and depressed at the same time. He'll send troops. He'll slaughter us all. Unnamed dude died. Nobody cares about him. But what about Magus? It can't be. Magus. Pretty much. Magus, the Dark Knight? But I thought he was your friend. Brother! I'll go to him. I'll make him understand. He must be acting under the spell of the Emperor. I know it! If he's ascended the Emperor's throne, there's only one place he can be. Palamecia. Okay, I think we kind of know what Palamecia is. Castle Palamecia is a fortress situated high in the mountains. It cannot be approached on foot. If that is the case, how do we make it? What about Layla? Does Layla know something? The Dark Knight went and claimed the throne for himself. Layla is a precursor to Faris and Pirate Speak. What do you know about Palamecia, Layla? Paul's always bragging about how he broke into that place. He'll talk your ear off if it gives you half a chance. But that's enough, really. She must have gone through that experience. Magus, the Dark Knight. Do you really think you can fight Luca's brother? Well, Luca's given her permission. This is our battle. You have to let us finish it. Yeah, it's not like you're gonna do anything. I had a feeling you'd say that. Just make sure you come back, okay? What do you know about Palamecia, Gordon? It's an impregnable fortress. Speaking of impregnable fortress, I remember the words of the great Lord, Sir Bronn of the Blackwater from Game of Thrones. Give me 10 good men and I'll pregnate the bitch. Impregnable fortress indeed. Orpheus. Let's speak there. There is a campaign in December. You know all these guys? These guys are from the forum you speak of? Luckily, Paul doesn't know the meaning of the word. I've heard him bragging about breaking in. Alright, we get the point. We need to go and talk to Paul to figure out how we can enter this Palamecia castle. Which is where we need to confront Magus. So we need to go into Magus's lair. Sounds familiar, doesn't it? And they make great campaigns. Nice. You know, the mark of a quality just by who authored that campaign is, the highest form of respect. Highest form of respect. And that we've healed up. Do we need to stock up on anything? I don't think so. Let's go talk to Paul. I do need to make sure that before I enter the final dungeon, I should stock up on everything. Hey Paul. Just when we get the Emperor out of our hair, the Dark Knight has to go and louse things up again. Hey, Sid's here. Hey Sid. That Cyclone really did a number on me back in Paloom. Back in Paloom? What are you doing in Paloom? My body isn't taking too kindly to the idea of moving around. No. Even he's gonna die. Sid, okay? Wherefore art thou, Sid? How far art thou? I'm a mess, is what I am. But my airship made it through without a scratch. I want to lend it to you. Is he dead? No. Let's lend. You hear? I'll be wanting her back. You take good care of her. F. I would like some feedback on those two. And that became one of the biggest missions. What if It just got out of hand. Chrono can't speak after all. Alright, we got his airship. What do we do with his airship though? That was Sid's dying wish, you know? He knew he was dying and he was ready. He planned on giving you the airship when his time came. He loved that ship with all his heart and he entrusted it to you. Think about that. Yeah, we need an airship. Now that we visited pretty much all of the towns and there's only one place we need to go, I wonder what we need the airship for. What do you know about Palamisi anyway? Forget about Sid. The time I snuck into the castle, I used to try to land on the roof. The only way is from the sky. The sky. Get it? Get it, you idiots? You better get a hint there. If there was ever a time to use Sid's final gift to you, I'd say this was it, wouldn't you? Oh, he doesn't even hint at it, just straight up tells us. Okay, we have our directions. Let's just make straight to Palamisi Castle. Of course, things can't be that easy. The airship is all the way back in Poft. Oh, come on. Can we run from this? I don't think so. Oh, we can run from this. Interesting. Interesting. Where is my ship? Hello? What the hell? Okay, thank God, here it is. I don't really need to save. All encounters on the ocean are runnable and we are pretty much going to be taking the long way around, even though this is a long way using the ship, we're going to take primarily because all encounters we can escape from. Let's land at Poft. This is where we need to save. And finally we get the airship. Hooray! Land on the roof of the castle, he said. There we go. Now this dungeon is... yeah, I remember that this dungeon and the next dungeon are very lenient in terms of unrunnables. Pretty much no encounters here are unrunnable. Actually there is a general formation. We can run into generals here, sadly. They are one of the, as I mentioned before, they are one of the most dangerous monsters in this game. Even the wood columns that we are going to encounter here are runnable. So that's a mighty convenience. Cannot stress that enough. Let's just collect all our treasure, run away from everything, and... what was that? Some crab, egg timer, I think. Yeah, look at that. We get a wood golem, and in the previous dungeon, any encounter with a wood golem was unrunnable. Not here. We can get the upgraded golem as well. Stone golem, I believe, and even that guy is runnable. A very big convenience. Why are we getting crap like garlic here, if I may ask? Koto's also runnable. Does really make sense. But as I had mentioned very early on in this challenge run, figuring out what is runnable and what is not is not a matter of logic at all. It's just the way things were coded. So you can see, I pretty much encountered everything we can run from. I mean, every encounter that we've seen so far, we could run from. This is where I thought amoebas actually start appearing. Apparently not so. This is potentially one of the most difficult encounters in the game. Imperial Shadow. Now why do I say this is difficult is because this guy pretty much bucks the trend. He is undead. So we can't use a blood sword. We cannot use osmos either. So those two strats are immediately out of the picture. But one thing, what his weakness is that he doesn't have any damage dealing spells, but he does have death. Only Luca is protected from death, I believe, and barrier at level 1 will not protect us against death. So our back row, although it is safe, yeah, he's constantly going to be using curse and death, and the back row is not protected from the death spell. I put Blizzard at level 2 and I've not been paying attention here. Blizzard and Blink. Blizzard and Blink for her as well. Blizzard and Blink did not level up for him, so just Blizzard. Alright. And Blink for the first two guys. Okay, I think they should do it. On top of that, this guy is also immune to teleport. So imagine that, eh? One of the few monsters in this game who is immune to teleport. So pretty much the only way we can deal with him is just using items as spellbooks and dealing damage. There is no shortcut. I just think if I didn't have the ribbon on Maria, how would I deal with this guy? That is an interesting question. Maybe I should take her ribbon off and try and find out. Curse is not a big deal, but it's a death spell that I'm worried about. Yeah, death 8. Missed on Chrono, why? Does he have more magic defense? I don't know. But it looks like at this stage in the game, Richard is dead! Oh crap! Dude just decided to use physical attack. Okay. Of course, if he's gonna use his physical attack, he can only kill one party member per turn. And since bosses in FF2 do not get more than one turn per round, we can use that to our advantage. People are cursed, that is fine. You know what? I actually think that if Maria didn't have the ribbon, this fight would be hell. How would one get death protection? Oh yes. Okay. Absolutely no way that we can get death protection. So maybe the ribbon drop from the Lamia Queen is mandatory. Of course, we could just not do this guy. He is an optional monster in a box. But in order to satisfy 100% requirement, we need a way to deal with the Imperial Shadow. This guy is actually posing a challenge. Or would, rather, if Maria didn't have the ribbon. Blizzard is doing shit damage. I guess he resists Blizzard. Haven't really paid attention before. I need to get rid of guys Frog's Curse as well. But yeah, considering the fact that we are able to revive all of our party members every turn, and he can only kill one guy every turn. That really makes this kind of easy. But hey, at least I had to use some different strats this time around. Just using blink and then spamming attacks from the back row did not work. Because he's got the death spell and Richard does not have immunity against death. We do not have... Actually, we do have. We went through Basidia Tower. We got the white robe, didn't we? Yeah, what am I talking about? We can have immunity to the death spell. So yeah, this fight has been trivialized by the white robe. I'm just waiting for him to die. If he had a damage spell, I think this fight would have been a lot worse. Richard can just stay dead. I think if he had a damage spell, that would have been a lot worse. And in general, if monsters in Final Fantasy 2 got more than one turn per round, that would have been pretty challenging. But that is something so completely outside the mechanics of this game, it's probably not... It's gonna be incredibly hard to implement that. But that is another idea. Can you stop spamming curse, please? God damn it! God damn it! You know what? Screw this. Just keep using Blizzard. Look at the amount of MP my guys have. Incredible. Finally decided to use a physical attack. Is this guy technically in the back row? It looks that way, although that shouldn't be possible, should it? When Richard died, ideally everyone would have moved to the front row. Missed! Everybody must be getting a lot of magic defense. I was desperately hoping that we would be doing a lot more damage than this. But I guess the fact is that we've been running away from most random encounters, so we haven't really had any chance at all. Maybe he's out of MP now. We haven't really had a chance to work on stats. I mean, the fact that even Chrono had agility of 40 shocked me. Yeah, it does look like he's out of MP. Using high level spells does that to you. Although the so-called high level spells only used 8 MP. This guy mustn't have had a lot of MP to begin with. Oh, never mind. It was just RNG. That must have been a very interesting RNG loop, rather sequence of random numbers that made him just decide to use physical attacks. This guy, I think he's primarily a spellcaster. Although he only has Curse 8 and Death 8. But to an unprepared party, Death 8 can be absolutely devastating. Oh my god, how much HP does he have? If I'm going to be doing only about 50 damage a turn, how much HP does he have? Like 2000? Surely he doesn't have 2000 HP. This is going to take like 40-50 turns. Can I somehow speed up the process? Yeah, let me just start using books instead. Part of the reason for me using learned spells on my characters is the fact that they're going to gain stats out of it. And of course, it's also staying true to the challenge run, so to speak. Even though, as I mentioned many times before, using the item command is considered part of the challenge run. Let's see how effective the Gaia drum is. Wind flute, and Gaia, just cure yourself if you can. Wait, how is it that I have the wind flute again? Mist, okay, he's immune to wind element. I guess wind is an element, it's not non-elemental. And yeah. Interesting, so Gaia drum was useless, wind flute is useless. What that does mean is that it is elemental, it's not non-elemental. That is news to me, I'll be honest. So wind flute is wind elemental. Gaia drum is a waste. Let's just get rid of this acid fire since we have better options anyway. Poison cloud. Oh, hang on. That is probably the difference between acid file and the wizard staff, which casts poison 16. Let's just throw the garlic that we got in this dungeon. I'm quite sure that he's immune to sleep and confuse. Instead, we'll use the stuff which casts unlimited. This is stuff unlimited poison 16 and the Hiryu. Where's the Hiryu? Hiryu is unlimited blaze 7. Let's just stick with that. At least he's doing better damage than level 1 Blizzard. Oh, that's nice damage from Garlic. 28 whole damage. What? 20 damage from fire? What? God damn it. Oh, right, he's cursed. So any damage he's going to be doing is going to be halved. Oh, curse is just brutal, absolutely brutal. It's interesting to note that the treasure that he was guarding is already in our inventory. That always gets me. That always gets me. So theoretically, well, not theoretically, we can actually use that item. Hey, where's the Hiryu? Yeah, instead, there's the Hiryu. Yeah, we can actually use the Thunder Sphere, which is exactly what this guy is supposed to be guarding. And you can just use the Hiryu. Marginally better damage here, and plus I don't have to waste my MP. I don't really care for MP now. These guys have over 100 MP, that's ridiculous. Thunder 16 was it? Or was it Thunder 11? That nice damage there. How much? What thunder was that? I didn't pay attention. I think it was Thunder 16. Nice damage from Frog 2. That goddamn curse, man. Whatever, I guess Frog can remain cursed. He's not doing that good damage. Right now the best damage we're getting is from the Thunder Spear, which is, yeah, it's Thunder 16. Unlimited Thunder 16. Yep, we are getting into proper endgame here. He is still not dead. Jesus. Battle of Attrition. Battle of Attrition is just gonna get longer and longer the more HP these guys get. I think I'm just gonna start relying on using items or throwing spell books if stuff like this starts to happen. In order to gain stats, I just need to cast Black Magic 15 times for a guaranteed increase in everyone's intelligence. Guy's dead again. God damn it, guy. Sending emeralds on Knossos. Nice. You got plenty of streaming. You got plenty of streaming content then. It's not all of them. Oh. We're working on restoring older campaigns. What do you mean by restoring? Please die. My god, this guy has a lot of HP. Seriously underestimated this guy's HP. This fight is just dragging on now, bro. What is surprising is that he has so much MP. I thought he would have run out of MP by now. God damn it. This is where turn order really helps us out. And the fact that you can actually control turn order instead of level grinding, of course. Actually, in a way, I did need to level grind. In a way. I needed to grind shields up to a certain level in order to get favorable turn order like this. So I can't really say that there was no level grinding involved, that it's completely independent of levels. Turn order is dependent on levels if you do it this way, of course. Forefront of mod building errors. Place testing, make sure the mission script doesn't break in obvious places. Okay. So basically they're just testing the old stuff. Please die. Please, for God's sake, die. Finally. This guy definitely deserves. So with mod dependency, you have to download and play. I see. And so it's all for Knossos. At least it was a marginally interesting boss. I'm not gonna bother with various other strats for him because there are none, to be honest. We can't use the blood sword. Do we have high potions? Good that one high potion is enough for everyone. Good Muriel, get it going. Fair enough. So yeah, that boss. Are you kidding me? Unrunnable. I just faced him. Yeah, one of the trolls of FF2 is that you can run into that monster in a box as a random encounter. How much fun is that? Chronological order of release. Why? Oh, come on. Why am I... Seriously? After getting a whole bunch of just runnables, I started running into this guy who is a 1 in 64 encounter. He's that rare. Oh, we got generals. No, not gonna deal with generals now. Inferno after Derelict. I think this guy, that was the only boss here. I think so. Oh no, there is one more boss. Thank you. I don't really care about being ambushed by encounters that I can run from, and I regard it as a good luck charm. Because then the actual encounters I have to deal with, hopefully I won't get ambushed there. Of course that doesn't work here in this challenge run. Don't really care about the ones that are unrunnable. Because we're just gonna do this reset. Much more important for a speed run though. Linking to the internet, things are so damn old. Evolution after the campus is long gone. Uh-oh, I forgot about these guys. Cockatrice. Anyways, then good night, Matt. I'm gonna be pretty much ending, trying to get wrecked too hard. I'm gonna be ending in like 5 minutes. I just want to get to that boss. Nah, like, as you have seen, things have been pretty easy so far. Maybe it's only gonna be the proper final dungeon where I might get wrecked. Can I not get the general encounter? Wow, seriously, I was complimenting this dungeon on how lenient it is in terms of unrunnables, and look at this! I blame Matt. Now that he's gone, I'm getting this kind of crap. This is the opposite of the Thorio effect. Are you kidding me? You gotta be kidding me. Like 80% of the encounters in this dungeon are runnable. You gotta be kidding me. Yeah, there's some RNG shenanigans then. Yeah, I think it was RNG was locked for some strange reason. Man, encountering these guys is pretty weird. A bunch of dudes in old-fashioned, what do you call that? Underwear. The ones that you know, the ancient people used to use. Okay, at least now I'm getting some luck. That must have been a pretty bad sequence. Constantly getting unrunnable encounters. Oh! Speaking of, how many generals have I got? Wow, this would be pretty horrible if I had to actually deal with them. Good. Oh wow. It was a runnable encounter. I'm gonna save here and let's check out this monster in a box. Now this one is actually pretty interesting. Why is this interesting? We are going to need to wait until next time to find out, because for today this is going to be it. We'll start with this monster in a box next time around. I was actually hoping to finish the game today, but yeah, I just got really into it, demonstrating various methods of how we can deal with enemies. But I think now that we've got our solid base of all strats that we can use for boss, I'll just maybe skip ahead. Maybe we'll, instead of trying 5 or 6 times per boss, we'll just try using the blood sword once. We'll try using items once, and try the legit way, of course, without using items, just using our own level 1 skills. I guess we'll try to do that next time. But for now, it's gonna be that's it. Yeah, you guys have a good day, and I'll see you next time.